Hey everybody, Goosebumps for Dummies here, and today I'm going to be talking about Trapped in the Circus of Fear. I can very well be holding up nothing and you wouldn't realize it because this book is practically invisible in the Goosebumps franchise. Yeah, I think this one gets no recognition. In fact, it's one of the least popular books probably ever produced for this series, let alone Goosebumps. It is the third Give Yourself Goosebumps Special Edition, and again, the least popular, and especially when it comes to cover art. I rarely think about this piece of art. It's one of Craig White's least talked about of his catalog, and he's been getting more popular in the past few years too, and nobody brings this one up. And fair enough, it's kind of mid. It's kind of awkward shading-wise, and it's nothing special. Nor is the story. Let's dive in. And now for the blurb. It's the scariest show on earth! What a low fucking hanging fruit. He did so well at circus camp, you're allowed to join a real circus for a week. But it turns out to be a circus of fear. Meet the girl with 5 tongues and the kid with rotten flesh. Like Minecraft. These sideshow freaks used to be normal kids until the evil ring mistress got hold of them. And now she's after you. You'd better destroy your evil powers before she turns you into the kid who lives in a jar. What the fuck? The choice is yours in the scary Goosebumps adventure that's packed with over 20 super spooky endings. Ooh! There's a steaming pile of poop in my pants. It was so scary. The book itself, middling. There's some really nicely done power play in here, and the book actively advises you to basically die and restart. Not like it's telling you to do that, but when you die, it's like, restart and don't use this item. Because in this book, you're supposed to be using items you can only pick free at the beginning of the book. In the first 2 pages, you can pick stuff like chocolate and I don't know what it's called, but it's the dust people use when they're doing gymnastics on their hands. You can bring some of that. I think it's talcum powder or something. And you can bring that type of stuff. Some of it is useless, some of it will get you killed, and some of it will help you actually beat the book. And it literally advises you to restart and choose something different, or it tells you directly. And it feels more engaging this way. The book does a really good job at conveying that. It's really solid when it comes to that, though nothing groundbreaking. Just, again, really solid. There's a handful of good endings, literally 5, I'd say. Just flat 5. And I really can't name them in particular. I know they're pretty gross, though. Some morbid. But there's one ending that sticks out amongst the rest. This is the good ending. These Give Yourself Goosebumps stories that are special editions usually home down on one particular ending, and this is no exception. The good ending that you're trying to get to is the best ending here by far. It wraps everything up super sweetly, and it's not even just that, the pages that came before it, especially a particular 20 to 30 pages, which we'll talk about in a second, are good stuff. It's really good. There's also the setting, which is the first of its kind to fully embrace the circus, and whilst the circuses appear in other GYGs like Professor Shock, Purple Peanut Butter, and I guess if you want, both Carnival of Horrors, this is the first to fully embrace that. I think that's really cool, and they utilize it pretty well by taking everything you can get out of a circus and throwing it at you. Minus elements for some reason, but no less cool. And those 20 to 30 pages I mentioned, the battle. There's a huge showdown in this book against every single foe, minus a few like some clowns. You fight the lion tamer and his lions, some acrobats, the ring mistress herself, a knife thrower, and the list goes on. It's the best sequence in this whole book, and it's super fun and action-packed. If anything, this is the reason you should read this book. It's very good payoff and just super nice. And climactic AF. So, really good stuff there, though I can't say much for anything else. I can really sum up all my issues with this book, minus the almost cum jar-esque ending, with one word. Forgettable. Because I really remember that cum jar. On a real note, though, this book is extremely, supremely, and extravagantly bland. Really, it's so just, yeah, it's a circus of fear. Really, you're getting nothing new out of this or crazy. And I wish I could really talk more on it, but really, that's it. This book is so bland. It hits every trope. A lot of it is pretty boring. Not that the book's a bad book, just it's kind of boring with how little creativity there is. It's all stuff you would immediately assume. Knife thrower, check. Clowns, check. A ring mistress or man of any kind, check. It's so predictable. Everything here you can see coming from a mile away when it comes to the actual elements of the story and the threats and the endings. There's some creative ones, like there's one involving cotton candy fingers. Like, that's cool. There's the sideshow segment, which is the most creative thing here. And that's it. It's just so bland. And that also comes to the endings, which I guess could be its own issue, but it really all sums up into just a really bland, forgettable, and supremely unimaginable story. The endings in this one are just so forgettable that I just don't remember any of them. There's some good ones and some decent ones, but most of them just fall under the category of, you didn't die, but you got incorporated in the circus, and that's the bad when a lot of them are really similar, not like extravagantly new, and a lot of them just don't do anything that will blow you away. The whole gimmick of these books are cool endings. You want to see how you will end, how you will wrap it up. And if the ending's like, oh no, you're part of the circus now, you're gonna die from getting knives thrown at you, or it's like really basic stuff like that, where it's like, oh no, the knife thrower hit you with a knife. No shit. It's like, come on, man. I wished for something more from this story, all in all. Super bland endings, super bland execution of the idea. It does everything you'd absolutely expect, and nothing comes of it, really, that was, worthy of being a book, and B, a truly recommendable and check-outable story, minus the fight scene and some elements that I mentioned earlier. It's just like, it's super what you'd expect. Trapped in the Circus of Fear gets a 5 out of 10. It's extremely what you'd expect and nothing more. I wish for something more out of this book, but it really didn't do anything with the concept other than what you were inevitably gonna get. And it's depressing. Whilst there's some good stuff here, it's all pretty forgettable, bland, and not really worth your time, though it's not a bad book. Just, again, uninspired. Hope you guys enjoyed this book review. Tell me what you think about Trapped in the Circus of Fear down below. I'd really like to know. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.